You're on my ship.
The ship belongs to me now.
New life forms with acid for blood.
We're trying to contain an alien invasion.
So Wendy's just out there with all these things?
What is up, everybody? Jeremy Eisenfire here, and welcome to the channel. Episodes 1 and 2 of Alien Earth are here, and the series is off to an intriguing start, to say the least, but it certainly is not without its problems in certain areas. But overall, I get the feeling the series could be heading into some very interesting territory, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it's going to go. And now, with the first 2 episodes in the book, we now have a much better picture of the characters and the overall storyline that we're going to be following, as the race to contain and control the specimens begins between Weyland-Yutani and Prodigy. And judging by the Episode 3 trailer, it looks like these two forces are going to meet sooner rather than later, as the Episode 3 trailer starts off with a scene between Kersh and Maro.
You're on my ship.
The ship belongs to me now.
We see a shot of Maro holding a gun on Kersh, stating that he is on his ship. It seems Maro has made his way back to the Maginot, most likely in an attempt to contain some of the specimens still on board, as Kersh replies to Maro that this is his ship now. One thing we have seen up until this point is Maro seems to be incredibly dedicated to the mission of containing these specimens, and appears to be willing to go to almost any length necessary in order to achieve this. We're only 2 episodes in, and we've already seen him make quite a few different morally ambiguous decisions, including leaving his entire crew to get slaughtered by aliens, pointing to a deep emotional detachment to the rest of humanity, making his storyline far different than the rest of the hybrids.
Let me in! Maro!
While the hybrids themselves are no longer human, they very much still see themselves as human, where Maro, on the other hand, wants to present himself as more than human, not only by becoming a cyborg, but also with his emotional detachment as well, which makes the underlying storyline of what does it mean to be human intriguing from these 2 different POVs. But if nothing else, it should also be interesting to see how this scene plays out between Maro and Kersh. But next, the Episode 3 trailer continues with a scene between Boy Cavalier and Kersh, as they seemingly have captured a few of the specimens and successfully brought them back to Prodigy, as Boy appears to be very excited at the prospect of experimenting with new life forms, as we then see a shot of Boy and Kersh examining one of the alien eggs, just as it appears to be hatching, with a facehugger likely getting ready to emerge, as we see Kersh begin to pull Boy away from it.
All this ground to break. New life forms with acid for blood.
And with Kersh himself being a full 100% synthetic, he is the ideal candidate to study these specimens, but any human that comes near them is going to be in grave danger. But for Boy, I get the sense that he's looking at all these new specimens as shiny new toys for him to play with, as they have very much been amping up the Peter Pan influence behind his character. Although Boy himself appears to be modeled on some of the earliest drafts of Peter Pan, when the character and story was a little bit darker than the one we know today. And with Prodigy getting their hands on a few of these specimens, you definitely get the sense that the experiments are not long behind, as we have recently seen a sneak peek of one such experiment, with Prodigy setting loose the Teioelius in the same cage with a sheep, to see how the creature functions, as we then see the Teioelius invading the eye of the sheep.
Species from other worlds, millions of years old. Killers.
And what we know about the creature thus far is that it attaches itself to the brain through the eye socket, via the optical nerve, giving it full control of the host body. An interesting form of mind control if nothing else, and something that Prodigy would undoubtedly like to replicate. But next, the Episode 3 trailer continues with a shot of Maro on the phone, most likely with Weyland-Yutani, stating that he is going to get them back, likely referring to the specimens that he lost to Prodigy, which likely means that his meeting with Kersh earlier did not go in Maro's favor. And while much is still unknown about Maro's character, we did hear when the series began that he is going to have a special connection to the Weyland-Yutani family, something that goes far beyond just his job as a security member. And whatever that is could potentially explain why he is so determined and dedicated to recovering these specimens. But next, we get an interesting shot of Kersh speaking to one of the hybrids, stating that we're trying to contain an alien invasion, as we then hear one of the hybrids expressing concern for Wendy being out there alone. When we last saw Wendy at the end of episode 2, she was going after her brother who has just been taken by one of the xenomorphs. And one thing I did find a little bit unbelievable is the enormous plot armor that Wendy's brother Joe has. He's encountered the xenomorph more than anyone else on the show, and yet he always lives to tell about it. We've seen multiple scenes where the xenomorph attacks instantly, ripping people apart, yet anytime it attacks Joe, it seems to want to take its time. As we see yet again with the episode 3 trailer ending with another shot of the xenomorph attacking Joe. But for some reason it appears the xenomorph prefers to growl in Joe's face rather than kill him like it does with everyone else.
Joe?
It's one thing to survive such an encounter like this once, but once it starts happening 2 or even 3 times, the plot armor starts to become a little bit too much. Unless there is some specific reason as to why the xenomorph is not attacking Joe and killing him super fast like it does with everyone else, it simply doesn't make sense. And if Joe wasn't showing any fear, I could maybe understand why the xenomorph wasn't attacking him straight away, as Maro demonstrated in episode 2 that the xenomorphs hone in on your fear, and how if you master your fear, you may just survive an encounter. But it seems that every time Joe encounters the xenomorph, he is incredibly fearful, making it incredibly strange that he's not getting killed quicker. As then, the episode 3 trailer comes to an end with Wendy going after Joe.
So Wendy's just out there with all these things?
Joe?
Overall, it looks like episode 3 is going to be pretty intriguing, as we're going to get a mix of the hybrids encountering some of the aliens on the ship, mixed with some of the experiments being done back at Prodigy on the ones they've already captured. And one thing I'm really looking forward to are the interactions between Kersh and Maro. They are 2 of the most intriguing characters on the series thus far, and I get the feeling they're going to have some really good scenes together, starting with this confrontation they have in episode 3, which is titled Metamorphosis. And with the title in and of itself, I'm hoping that we might get a look at this mysterious Species 37. Before the series began, FX put out a very intriguing trailer titled Gestation that appeared to be some kind of metamorphosis that Species 37 was undergoing. And based on the information on Species 37 on the computer, it appears that this thing is going to be pretty massive. And I'm looking forward to seeing what it really is. But overall, the series is off to a pretty good start thus far. There are a few minor problems, yes, but overall I feel like there's a pretty interesting storyline and some really intriguing characters here to dive into. And while I did enjoy episode 1 a little bit more than episode 2, I am very much looking forward to seeing where episode 3 is going to take us. But that is going to do it for my episode 3 trailer breakdown. And definitely leave your thoughts and comments down below. What did you enjoy about episodes 1 and 2, and what are you looking forward to most for the rest of the series? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit a like on your way out and consider subscribing to stay up to date on all of our upcoming alien videos. And as always, I want to give a big thank you to everybody out there for watching, and a huge thank you to all of the channel members, and we will see you on the next one.
You're on my ship.
The ship belongs to me now.
New life forms with acid for blood.
We're trying to contain an alien invasion.
Joe?